So look, Mayhem, I want to get into this, man. So with your fight on August 9th, that Saturday in Louisville, Kentucky versus Sergio Castro, man, is he one of the taller guys you fought? Because I seen that he was like 6'3".
Yeah, he's a big old beluga.
He's
Yeah,
he's a big dude, and I was wondering. So how do you prepare for a guy of his size? Because I watched your fight against Dakota Talbot on YouTube, and you just outclassed him. I ain't gonna lie. He looked like they picked him up on the side of the road. It was like, hey, you want to fight today? They just picked him up. So, but for a guy like Sergio, though, man, how do you prep for that size and that length that you know?
Listen, I'm gonna tell you, like guys like Dakota Talbot. When you look on the outside in, I'm not braggadocious at all, right? Like I could be. I done been around some dudes, and we done been like some of the top guys in any gym we go to or whatever it may be, and they just like, man, don't even talk to me. Like, who are you? You know what I mean? Like, that ain't me. I'm always open arms. I'm talking to everybody. But guys like Dakota Talbot, the reason it looked like that is because I made it look easy. So listen, the same type of guys, there's guys around the city and the region that think that they gonna get off on these guys the same way I do. And then when they get them, if you look at the record and the names, when they get them, it's a little bit more trouble. You know, I think there was a couple guys I stopped in like the first 3 rounds, and they brought him back to Louisville to fight against another guy that was from Louisville, another guy in the surrounding area, and he take them all 4 rounds, all 6 rounds, and they like, damn, how they did? It's because I crunched him. I got him up out of there. They don't believe in me more.
They don't think you a stepper for real. They don't think you
until anybody step in there with me, they don't. I was in Miami with Shannon Briggs. Briggs comes in the gym, right?
Yeah.
What's up, champ?
Former 2-time heavyweight champ of the world. He comes in the gym, and everybody in the gym, you know, kind of like, oh, Shannon. And I'm like, man, I'm down in the gym. I'm from Kentucky. You know, they already think I'm just a country dude. I'm in the gym. I'm like, hey, man, Shannon, it's good to meet you, man. I used to watch you. He like, yeah, all right, champ. He go off. I said, oh, okay. Damn, let's go be one of them. I thought to myself, now watch. As soon as he get ready, he going to say, I'm ready to spar. And everybody going to look around, and Tim's going to be the one they put in there. So, lo and behold, it happened. He gets in the gym. Let's go, champ. I'm ready to spar, champ. I mean, intimidating. I'm only 5'10" and a half. Shannon the can is 6'5" and a half. He huge. He was like, hey, man, who get in the gym? Coach Herman's like, Tim, glove up. I'm like, So I glove up, and afterwards, I'll send y'all the video. But after we got done doing some rounds, man, I was able to get his respect. So it's like these guys that people see, even the guys that come in when they see me, I'm not super ripped up. That's not my style. I didn't cut weight because I don't cut weight like that because of something I learned. I did get down. I used to be at like 200 pounds, 215, 220, 225, 230. I was down there. But when I was down there at that weight, those punches hold a different pack versus me being 260, 265, 270. Those punches hold a different pack, man. I'm telling you, the same shots that I got hit with in the heavier thing kind of made me like, whoa, wait a minute. Like, what the hell's going on? And if you look back and you think when Roy Jones went to heavyweight and came back down to light heavyweight, his chin took a beating. It just changes you. That cutting weight, it changes you, which is why a heavyweight matures later and he can take the game and go longer. You don't see guys at 135, 40 pounds at 40 years old, unless that's their natural weight. The only guy I can think about that lasted that long was Rigon Dial. Rigon Dial, the Cuban multi-Olympic champion. He was gold medal.
How old is Lomachenko? Lomachenko that way?
Lomachenko's like 35, 36.
Oh, okay. I thought he about 40. I thought he was okay.
He upper. He's upper, but it's like, you know, you get a diamond in the rough.
Right. It's a diamond in the rough.
Yeah, and when you look at the body of work, everybody's 23, 24, 20. So when these heavyweights see my body, they like, man, I'm about to crunch this fat man. This is the guy that's 12 and 0. So when they come to me, they not like everybody. They coming to me to try to actually win. They ain't coming there like seeing against the Joshua, like, oh, as soon as I get hit, I'm gonna take a dive. Yeah. Nah, these motherfuckers think that they gonna pick me. I'm gonna be their turnaround. I be the 11.
They think it's sweet.
They think it's sweet.
So I literally got a Mortal Kombat, punch the chest, get the heart, Eat that
You gotta show niggas. Yeah. You gotta show niggas.
Every fight.
That's what I was gonna ask you too, because you was talking about Anthony Joshua. You was talking about you sparring with him. When you was in there with him. Now, how do you feel? That's what I was going. So what do you think the gap is? So if Anthony Joshua, heavyweight champion, you know, what do you feel like when you in the ring? You was like, you know what? I could really whoop this nigga if it was real. Or is it like, you know what I'm saying? What's the gap? I'm asking, you know what I'm saying? I'm asking.
So when I first got there, they knew that my size is hard to find. There's not guys that are my height, my size, that match Andy Ruiz. Because guys usually around our size are like, fuck heavyweight. Oh, excuse me. I like, forget heavyweight. I'm going down.
Like, you can cuss, yeah.
Okay, cool. Guys in my size are like, fuck heavyweight. I'm going down to cruiser. I'm going down to light heavy. But see, one thing that Andy Ruiz found out that I found out by watching him is that we're big enough to pack a punch, and we also got speed on our hands. And Ruiz is elusive. Look at these heavyweights. They like this, standing straight up, head here. But look at Andy Ruiz. We dip and we dabbing. They not moving. That's like they fighting a light heavy. My coach always told me, if you fight like a light heavyweight, welterweight, middleweight, and you a heavyweight, you're gonna be champ of the world. Moses Ituma fights like a motherfucker middleweight. Jared Anderson fights just like Shakur Stevenson. They from the same camp. The stiff up to the body, down to that's lightweight stuff. And they get success. So a guy built like me, a guy built like Ruiz, it's hard to find. So when Joshua brought me out in the beginning, I was only 5-0. So there was usually when you come to camp, everybody's there. You got media, you got everybody there. And I knew that, so I was expecting that. Nah, when I showed up a whole month before he even started camp. They brought me to the gym. It's in the Olympic Training Center. So mind you, I'm by myself, bro. I caught a flight over there. When I got the flight over there, I touched down. I took a train. Or they had a driver come pick me up. His name is Nas, man. He's my homie to all of them are still my homies to the day. But Nas picked me up and we drove 6 hours. The first 3 hours we really didn't talk. So after I broke the ice and we started talking to each other, he was like, "Man, I really like you." He said, "I'm gonna tell you something." He said, not many people get chosen to come to camp unless they match the dimensions, of course. But he was like, I'm going to tell you something before you get out and go to your hotel and go to the session tomorrow. He said, don't get starstruck when you see Anthony Joshua because he will knock your ass out. Hands down. He was like another guy, another 4 or 5 guys had came in and they're starstruck. They're like, man, I'm in here with Joshua. Like, the gym is huge. Like, this is crazy. You get out and touch gloves, you think you're working with the homie at the gym. Joshua step back on your ass cruncher, you fall straight over. They give you a ticket to go home.
Yeah, because Joshua ain't seeing that. Joshua is Joshua.
And he's locked in because he just locked in.
He locked in.
He locked in,
yeah.
He's locked in. Bro, when he came in the gym, they talk about aura. The aura was mad heavy. I shook his hand. Mind you, he's 6'6.5", so I'm looking up, and he's like, I'm like, man, thank you. I'm like a big ass kid. I'm like, man, thank you for the
opportunity. Appreciate it.
Appreciate that, my boy.
I'm like, thank you for the opportunity to make this money. He was like, he nodded his head. He was like, if you make it past the first week, this will be good for you and good for me.
I forgot.
So look, I was like, what's that supposed to mean? So we strap up, bro. Look, I'm straight. I'm from Cecil and Greenwood. So I used to go, for me, bro, I go to the gym and I cut off some shorts. It don't matter, bro. I'm grinding. My hand wraps is long. I have a little rip in them or something like that. So I'm on the side, I'm getting ready. He's ripping shit, new Under Armour stuff out the bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, getting ready.
Fresh.
Looking like money. Fresh. Looking like money.
Man, he looking like money. I get in there, I look like the little dude they found from around the corner. But man, as far as like gauging myself, even back when I was 5-0, man, against him, I knew I had a lot of ground to cover. Mm-hmm. But one thing that stands out to me in the camp was, one, I didn't get sent home after the first week. He didn't stop me. I didn't get sent home after the first week, and I was putting gloves on him in the similar way that Andy Ruiz was. And just because I was catching him with maybe one shot this round, 2 shots that last round. My defense was good enough to where he was punching. He hit me with the hardest body shot I ever been hit with. I got hit in the front in the solar plex, and I felt it in the back bottom part of my tailbone. So I was like, that's the hardest. That's the hardest I ever been hit. That's the hardest body shot. But I was able to keep it, hold it, because I was heavier when I went there. I was able to hold on to it and then like kind of blow it out, like get rid of it. And then we kept continuing. We did 6 rounds the first day I was there. And then I came back in. I did another 4 rounds with him. Then after that, I went to the regular sparring schedule. So, but the guys that he brought in, those contenders, those guys that have already made them hundreds of thousands, those guys that are in the mix of like the top 25, I was right with them. With them. So that's why I knew at 5-0, I'm with these dudes who are 20-2, who are 20-5, who are 18-0. You know, it was guys that were 17-0. They were coming from Cologne, Germany. And I look at it as I didn't get that Team USA experience with the international fights and the Pan American games. But but when I went to Joshua's camp, that was my international experience. I sparred with a dude from Cologne, Germany. That style is different from the Mexican I sparred from Tijuana. Then I sparred Andrew Tabiti from Las Vegas, who fights slick, kind of like a cruiserweight Mayweather. Then I got a chance to spar with the veteran Bryant Jennings. So I was able to gauge myself then. I told my fiance at the time, I said, if I go out here and I get washed in that first week, we probably gonna rethink what I'm doing.
You probably go, I don't blame you.
Gonna drop this mixtape.
I'm gonna take that little bread I got, go home. We're gonna rethink what I might start doing something. But
I don't blame you.
Man, when I went out there, man, it was another way for me to gauge. And then when I went to Luis Ortiz's camp, I had 5 more fights, so I was like 10-0. So when I went to Ortiz's camp, it was something that again, it's the little things you got to pay attention to that I tell these guys. So when I went to Joshua's camp, it's about 6 of us in here. That's about how many sparring partners he had, right? To fill up, like he would do 2 rounds with everybody, then he may do an extra 2 rounds with me because I'm closer to Ruiz's size. So I realized that everybody had the role they play. But when I went to Ortiz's camp, who was getting ready for Andy Ruiz, I was the only sparring partner, me and one other guy, and he was like 6'2", 6'3", but he was there to get those extra ends on the round. So I was like, for me, I was like, now I'm filling the void of these other guys that they don't have to pay because I'm good enough to be in there with him and give him the work he needs. So that's how I knew I was progressing as a fighter.